Between a camera released in 2021 versus one released in 2020, immediately you would think that the current issue is better. But is it really? The Nikon Z9 was offered to the public last October 2021, while the Canon R5 was released in July 2020. Both are powerhouses when it comes to professional full-frame mirrorless cameras. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we give you a one-on-one battle. Nikon Z9 versus Canon EOS R5. Who's got the better quality? Welcome back to our channel. Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Nikon and Canon are both tested by time and were able to stay on top of the market for decades because of their passion for innovation, design, and quality. Not only geared to a single blind direction, but they always heed the voice of the public and the market and are always ready to deliver. The Z9 and the R5, ever since their launch, have always been pitted against each other because of the unique and individual features that make them stand out in the world of mirrorless cameras. First, let's talk about body type. Both have the same SLR-style mirrorless frame. As to the lens mount, they are equal in the sense that they are compatible with lenses carried by their brands. But if one of the factors that you look for in the camera is compactness, as to size and weight, we might have to give the point to the R5, weighing only 738 grams, while the Z9 is double that mass. Factor in the fact that both full-frame sensors have the same dimensions, approximately 36mm by 24mm. However, if you prefer a stacked sensor, then the Z9 will get your point. Both have 46MP sensors, but only the Z9 has a stacked one. The benefit of a stacked sensor is that even at a high megapixel resolution, you will be able to process light at a very speedy pace. Next, both have a great ISO range, but the point goes to the R5. Both cameras have an ISO range expandable to ISO 30 or 50, 102, 400. The difference lies in the autofocus sensitivity. While the Z9 is at 64 25600, the R5 is at 100 51200. Going to shutter speeds, 30 frames per second for the Z9, while 20 frames per second for the R5 for the electronic shutter. But going to continuous shooting speeds, the Z9 may have bagged this because the 30 frames per second is at full resolution, and it can even take 120 frames per second with 11MP resolution. These speeds give the Z9 an advantage when you ought to go into sports photography. The 120 frames per second also comes in handy with video footage. And speaking of videos, the Z9, unlike the R5, allows you to record without limit as you can film beyond 30 minutes. When going for low light conditions, the Canon R5 may come in more conveniently than the Z9. ISO performance is both high in low light ISOs, but the R5 has a higher one at 3042 versus 2451. As to the flash, which also comes in very helpful in the dark, both have no built-in flash, but both are compatible with an external one. The difference in this segment is the flash sync. This feature is available only with the Z9. It can do front curtain, rear curtain, red eye reduction, and red eye reduction with slow and slow syncs. Also, the Z9 has this Nikon CLS, or the creative lighting system, which allows you for unified flash control and also enables auto high-speed sync. Another small detail that gives out a huge effect is the illuminated buttons, available only with the Z9. When buttons easily light up in the dark, it will be easier for you to take pictures and videos uninterrupted or without having to look for a light source to see through your buttons. Moving on to another important deciding factor, image stabilization. It is a great deal if your camera has a built-in one. The good news is that both of these models have their own installed stabilization system. Though both have sensor-based 5-axis image stabilization, we might have to give this one to the Canon R5. Both bring out smooth shots, but according to the CIPA, or the Camera and Imaging Products Association, the Z9 is able to handle vibration up to 6.0 stops, while the R5 can handle up to 8.0 stops. The number of focus points is also important in deciding on a good camera buy. The focus point is the one that helps you lock into your subject to get very sharp and detailed footage. Therefore, more focus points means better images. This comes in handy when dealing with wildlife or sports photography. Although the Z9's speedy shutters come in handy in dealing with moving subjects, the R5 is better if you wish to get a detailed and sharp shot of such subjects. The R5 comes with approximately 5,940 autofocus positions that can be manually selected and 1,053 autofocus frame segments where you can set areas to focus on. The Z9, however, only comes with 493 single-point autofocus. The viewfinder and the screen display both play an important role when putting your camera into action. Both the Z9 and the R5 have high resolution and high accuracy electronic viewfinders. Though both are well performing, the R5 has an edge in the resolution at 5760K dot displays that allows you to get clear images even at f/22. This comes in pretty handy for telephoto shots. The Z9, however, is at 3690K dot, powered by a quad VGA. Despite its being lower than that of the R5, you can still achieve great color balance plus 16-level brightness manual controls. As mentioned earlier, the screen display is the same for both models. Its position, however, is up to your own preference. The Canon R5 has a fully articulated screen, while the Nikon Z9 has a tilting screen. If you prefer a screen that is easily opened and shut when doing outdoor shoots, then the tilting one is for you. But really, whether you use the fully articulated one or the tilting one will not affect the quality of your images. It is just a matter of preference. Now we go to the practicality element that we look for in good cameras. First, let's go into the common characteristics of the two. As to wireless connectivity, both are compatible with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This criterion is very important these days, as people always look for convenient means to transfer files, photos, and videos to upload them easily in different media platforms. The easy transfer also allows you convenient access to your files when you need to edit them. Speaking of transferring the display through HDMI is also a good help. Both have HDMI ports. The only problem is that only the Z9 has a full-size HDMI port, and with the R5, you may have to use adapters. As to the storage, both have 2 slots. They differ in the type of cards that are compatible with the slots. With the Canon R5, you have one slot for a CF Express or a Type B card and another slot for SD cards. With the Nikon Z9, you have 2 slots for the CF Express Type B cards. This is but a matter of preference on your end. Now, where do they differ? With the USB ports, both have built-in. However, the R5 is better at 10 Gbit per second, while the Z9 is only 5 Gbit per second. But you may have to do away with a slight difference. The main distinction that may matter to you is the battery life. It will be significant if you're up for gigs that take a number of hours and are conducted outdoors or in a place with no constant power source. Of course, if you are only shooting within your studio, where the camera can be connected from start until the end of your shoot, it won't be a problem. But if you ought to cover a festival that lasts for hours or even the entire day, the Z9 may come in handy. With a full charge, it can take up to 740 shots, significantly higher than the R5's battery life of only 320 shots, almost double in battery capacity. So that is where we end this Nikon Z9 versus Canon EOS R5 match. So who's got the better quality? Actually, we cannot say for certain which one. As we always say in this channel, it will depend on your taste, your want, and your need. So to sum everything up, if you need the faster shooting speed, the longer battery life, the low light help and quality, the unlimited video record limit, the tilting screen, and the higher sensor resolution, then the Nikon Z9 is for you, priced at $5,500. But if you'd like the lighter option, the higher maximum ISO, more focus points, higher viewfinder resolution, and the low light ISO performance, and at a less expensive price, then the Canon EOS R5 is for you at $3,900. Again, you just have to weigh everything up. Say you are covering a parade that lasts the whole day, the huge number of focus points in the Canon R5 may help in the quality of the images of the moving subjects, plus the fact that its weight is half of that of the Nikon Z9. But you also have to trade it off with the Z9's approximately double battery life and the practical tilting screen. The factors that are more important to you will help you decide which among these two is your next shooting buddy. So till our next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.